Time. It's our most precious commodity. We all get the same 24 hours, yet it often feels like it slips through our fingers. Like a thief in the night, time is stolen away. We're left wondering where it went. What if I told you the average person loses hours each day? Not to grand events, but to small, seemingly insignificant distractions. This isn't about cramming every second with activity. It's about recognizing the value of your time. It's about making conscious choices about how you spend it. It's about reclaiming those lost hours and investing them in what truly matters. Imagine this. You wake up, check your phone, and get sucked into social media. An hour disappears. At work, you're pulled into an unproductive meeting. Another hour vanishes. The evening arrives and you find yourself scrolling endlessly online. There goes another hour. Have you ever felt like your day just vanished, like you were busy, but not productive? This is the insidious nature of wasted time. It creeps up on us, stealing moments that add up to hours. But there's hope. In this video, we'll explore how to identify these time traps and, more importantly, how to escape them. Stay tuned for a special tip at the end. This tip will help you reclaim lost hours in your day. Let's talk about meetings. We've all been there. Stuck in a conference room, staring at a PowerPoint presentation that could have been an email. The minutes tick by, and you feel your precious time evaporate. These unproductive meetings steal your day. Often meetings lack clear objectives or agendas. The worst part? They multiply, filling calendars and draining productivity. These interactions chip away at your day, leaving you with less time for what truly matters. Now let's talk about conversations. Specifically, conversations that drain your time and energy. These interactions often involve colleagues, friends, or family. Imagine this. You're in the middle of focused work when a colleague stops by for a chat. Before you know it, 20 minutes have vanished. It's about recognizing when a conversation is veering off course. Remember, it's okay to set boundaries and politely excuse yourself. Your time is valuable and it's okay to protect it. Social media, the ultimate time waster. It's so easy to get sucked into the endless scroll of news feeds and updates. Before you know it, you've spent hours browsing content that rarely adds value. Social media platforms are designed to be addictive. The constant stream of new content triggers dopamine, keeping us hooked. We tell ourselves we'll just check quickly, but one notification turns into 10. It's not just the mindless scrolling that's problematic. It's the constant context switching. Each time we switch our attention, we lose valuable mental energy. This interruption fragments our focus and hinders productivity. The key is to become aware of your usage patterns. Pay attention to how often you reach for your phone out of habit. Notice how long you typically spend browsing social media. Once you understand your habits, you can start regaining control. Now that we've identified some common time wasters, let's talk about strategies for reclaiming your day. The first step is awareness. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. We need to understand where our time is actually going. Think of it like a financial audit. You wouldn't try to manage your finances without knowing your income and expenses. The same principle applies to time management. Start by tracking your time for a week. Use a simple notebook, a spreadsheet, or one of the many time tracking apps available. Record how you spend each hour. Be honest with yourself. At the end of the week, analyze the data. You might be surprised to see how much time you spend on activities that don't align with your priorities. This exercise is eye-opening. It reveals those hidden pockets of wasted time that we often overlook. Remember, awareness is the first step to change. By understanding your current time allocation, you can start making conscious choices about how you want to spend your most valuable resource. Identify the red flags to protect your time. These warning signs can derail your day. Recognizing them is crucial for productivity. Beware of open-ended requests. For example, do you have a minute to chat? Without specifying the topic or duration. These can turn into lengthy discussions. Another red flag is the quick question trap. We've all fallen for this one. A quick question can spiral into a complex issue. These requests can hijack your day. Ask for clarification. Set expectations to save time. Now let's address the elephant in the room, saying no. This two-letter word can be surprisingly difficult to utter, especially for those who are naturally inclined to please others. However, mastering the art of saying no is essential for reclaiming your time and setting healthy boundaries. Remember, saying no to one request is not a rejection of the person making it. It's simply an affirmation of your own priorities and commitments. When you decline a request, do so with grace and respect. Offer a brief explanation if appropriate, but avoid lengthy justifications or apologies. For example, if a colleague asks you to take on an additional task when you're already overwhelmed, you could say, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm swamped with deadlines right now. I wouldn't be able to give this project the attention it deserves." Practice saying no in low-stakes situations to build your confidence. The more you exercise this muscle, the easier it will become to decline requests that don't align with your goals or values. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's self-care. Just as we have physical boundaries to protect our personal space, we need mental and emotional boundaries to safeguard our time and energy. Clear boundaries are essential for a balanced and fulfilling life. Start by setting boundaries around your work hours. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to blur the lines between our professional and personal lives. However, it's crucial to establish clear boundaries to prevent work from encroaching on your personal time. This might mean silencing work notifications after a certain hour, or designating specific days for unplugging and recharging. Communicate these boundaries to your colleagues and clients, letting them know when you're available and when you're not. Remember, you are not obligated to be available 24 hours a day. It's okay to disconnect and prioritize your well-being. By setting firm boundaries, you create space for the things that truly matter. Spending time with loved ones, pursuing your passions, and simply enjoying some quiet time. Delegation is often overlooked, but it's a powerful tool for time management. Many of us try to do it all, but the truth is, we can't. Delegating tasks to others frees up our time and energy, allowing us to focus on our strengths and priorities. Start by identifying tasks that can be delegated. These are often tasks that are important but not necessarily urgent, or tasks that can be done by someone else with the right skills and knowledge. Once you've identified potential tasks, consider who you can delegate to. Look for individuals within your team or organization who have the capacity and the expertise to handle the task effectively. Provide clear instructions and expectations and be available to answer questions and offer support. Remember, delegation is not about dumping tasks on others. It's about empowering them to contribute and grow. Effective delegation not only frees up your time, but it also fosters a more collaborative and productive work environment. In this age of constant distractions, reclaiming your focus is paramount. Our attention spans are under attack from all sides: notifications, emails, social media, the list goes on. However, the ability to focus deeply is essential for productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. One of the most effective ways to reclaim your focus is to create a distraction-free environment. This might mean silencing your phone, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, or finding a quiet space to work where you won't be interrupted. Experiment with different techniques to see what works best for you. Another powerful strategy is time boxing. This involves scheduling specific blocks of time for focused work on a particular task. During these time box sessions, eliminate all distractions and commit to giving the task your undivided attention. Remember, reclaiming your focus is a continuous process. It requires conscious effort and discipline. However, the rewards are well worth it. By mastering the art of focus, you unlock your true potential and achieve greater levels of productivity and fulfillment. I'll never forget the day I realized I had a serious time management problem. It wasn't a sudden epiphany. It was more of a slow, creeping realization that dawned on me over a series of seemingly insignificant events. I was constantly busy, rushing from one task to the next, but I never seemed to make any real progress on the things that truly mattered. One evening, as I was scrambling to meet a deadline, I glanced at the clock and realized with a jolt that it was past midnight. I had been working for hours, yet I felt like I had barely scratched the surface of my to-do list. A wave of exhaustion washed over me, both physically and mentally. I knew something had to change. I couldn't keep operating at this unsustainable pace. I was neglecting my health, my relationships, and my own well-being. It was in that moment of exhaustion and frustration that I vowed to take back control of my time. The first step was acknowledging the problem. I had to admit to myself that I had fallen into the trap of people-pleasing. I said yes to every request, no matter how unreasonable, because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. I allowed myself to be pulled into countless meetings and conversations that drained my time and energy without adding any real value. I realized that my inability to set boundaries was not a sign of kindness. It was a form of self-sabotage. I was so busy trying to please everyone else that I was neglecting my own needs and aspirations. The weight of unspoken no's was crushing my productivity and my spirit. It was time to have some difficult conversations. I had to learn to politely decline requests that didn't align with my priorities. I had to master the art of delegating tasks and trusting others to handle them effectively. And most importantly, I had to give myself permission to prioritize my own well-being. The journey to reclaim my time wasn't easy. It required conscious effort, discipline, and a willingness to confront my own deeply ingrained habits. There were days when I slipped back into old patterns, when the allure of people-pleasing threatened to derail my progress, but I kept reminding myself of the promise I had made to myself to value my time and invest it wisely. I knew that every time I said no to a time-wasting request, I was saying yes to something more important: my health, my relationships, my passions. Gradually, things began to change. I started to feel more in control of my day. I had more time and energy for the things that truly mattered. I was less reactive and more intentional about how I spent my time. And most importantly, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and fulfillment. Throughout this video, we've explored the insidious ways in which time can slip away from us. We've identified common time wasters, from unproductive meetings to the siren song of social media. But more importantly, we've discussed practical strategies for reclaiming our time and taking back control of our days. Remember, time is not something we can create more of. It's a finite resource, and once it's gone forever. However, we do have the power to choose how we spend the time we have. We can choose to invest it wisely in activities that align with our values and priorities. The strategies we've discussed are not about cramming more into our already busy schedules. They're about creating space for what truly matters. They're about designing a life that is both productive and fulfilling. And now for the special tip I promised you. This tip is deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. Are you ready for it? Here it is. Schedule your priorities first. Most of us create our schedules around our obligations. Work commitments, appointments, errands. We try to squeeze in our priorities. Time with loved ones, exercise, personal projects around the edges. But this approach often leaves us feeling overwhelmed and unfulfilled. Instead, try this. At the beginning of each week, block out time for your top priorities as if they were important meetings. Schedule your workouts, your date nights, your creative pursuits. Treat these time blocks as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. By scheduling your priorities first, you ensure that they get the attention they deserve. You create a life that is in alignment with your values, not just a reflection of your obligations. Remember, your time is your most valuable asset. Choose to spend it wisely. We've all experienced the frustration of wasted time. Share your experiences in the comments below. What are your biggest time-wasting challenges? What strategies have you found helpful in reclaiming your day? Remember, taking control of your time is an ongoing journey. It's about making conscious choices that align with your values and priorities. By sharing our experiences and supporting each other, we can all learn and grow together. And if you're looking for more tips on boosting your productivity and making the most of your time, be sure to check out my next video right now on how to quit phone addiction for good. Don't let time slip away. Start reclaiming your day today.